IVM.
TFG Football is an IVM production, and you can also check out their other awesome shows like Geek Fruit with fellow and television geeks Tejas, Jishnu and Dinkar as they discuss the world of science fiction and nerd culture.
You're listening to TFG Football.
Well, what a cracker of a match we had last night, and once again I missed watching it because I was at an event. But a 2-all draw that has happened between East Bengal and Aizawl, and East Bengal playing in their home ground. Last 97 minute, it went on for the game because there were just too many antics being happening because the East Bengal players wanted the win, so they were wasting time, and in just one touch they were falling down. All of that happened, but William the boy, who just comes in and scores both. I think both the goals he got a brace. Is he the same William who got?
He is the same William.
Wow, yep. Amazing. He wrote story there. He's beginning to write another chapter. A crazy game over here, but we will definitely talk about it. But I've got some news for all Indian football fans in Mumbai. Yes.
Mumbai football. What are you talking about, Siju?
Yes, Kevin, yes. When one club decided to shut shop, there's another emergence of another. It gave birth to another club.
Really?
Yes. Now it's called FC India, Football Club of India. So yesterday, that is 28th November, there was a official launch that happened at the Cooperage FIFA Banquet Hall. Now, basically, gist of it to give you is it's going to be coached by Godfrey Pereira, the former India player, he has also got the credentials of coaching Air India and taking them to heights. Now he's going to be coaching this. He's also one of the technical directors, and it's going to be sponsored by Jafar Bhai, who's very familiar with Mumbai FC as well. Especially those sitting in the press box or attending press conferences, free food from there. So all of that. Now, serious bit is that these people look like they're interested because we see some passionate people coming together, joining hands for the betterment of Mumbai football. Now they see that there's potential here because we do have the Kolkata Premier League happening, Vile Parle Premier League, which is kind of the big ones that happens, and it's been years that's going on. So they want to join those, like merge those leagues and make it a one big affair. So as of now, their ultimate aim will be to play in the leagues, whatever it's going to be called, the second division or third division. They'll be wanting to come up the ranks, but at the moment they want to invest in youth football. So they will be scouting players from these leagues that happen in Bombay and taking the best. And they also want to run an academy. So all of this. So ultimately, I think once again, players or whichever kids who want to play football can once again start dreaming because they can aim to play for a club that will one day represent and be a feeder for Indian football or the national team or the bigger clubs. I think it's a good step. They're starting again from scratch. But Kevin, I think it is something good. Yeah.
Imagine that somebody actually bothering to learn the game from the bottom up, like do their grassroots and youth development and get a structure in place before playing in the national leagues.
Yeah.
It seems like all you're supposed to do is to throw 50 crore into somebody's hand so that you get to play in a glamorous league and then cry when you are losing money and not actually producing anything of substance.
Yeah, absolutely. Kevin, you being from Bombay, and now just when we were talking about here, there are kids, there are potential. You yourself coach a couple of players, but I'm sure even you were thinking of sending them to some club or, talking to them about some, pitching their work or how good they are. And now I think you and many like you who are willing to send kids or, whoever it is to scouting talents to send. Once again, there's a club that the kids here in Mumbai can aspire for.
Yeah, that's there because there's no shortage of football clubs in Mumbai and no shortage of football schools in Mumbai. But what is lacking is how do you reach the top starting from the ground.
Yeah.
So that's, I think, the vision of this club, and I've got some. I want to fit in the puzzle over here. There is FC India, there is Godfrey Pereira, and there is Air India, and there is Mumbai FC. Now I see a jumbled picture over here. is there something that's happening like a merger between Air India and Mumbai FC? So they just get the name also FC India. Just pura kichadi of all this.
Yeah, I think it's totally a different ball game altogether. Like I said, now the other thing that happened at the launch, just to spend a little more time, was a book launch that happened by Mr. Kaushik Malik, who basically just formed his emotions and thoughts about how he was the guy behind getting Oliver Kahn, the German legendary keeper, to play his farewell match against Mohan Bagan in India. So he talks about all of those and how his connection to German football has been and how that can have a good impact on Indian football. Now there's also a tie-up here with German football through this guy, through Mr. Kaushik, who I think in a week or two they also announced that they will be doing some developmental programs for BMC schools in Bombay, and there'll be a former Bundesliga coach coming down to scout, and the select few will be sent to Germany for training. Now these are all interesting thoughts, a good step into the right direction. All we can do is wait and see how it has been implemented and how we can have a good impact on Mumbai football. But Chiranjeev, just to spend a little more time, what are your thoughts all about? Mumbai football once again getting something out of, because there's potential, there's talent, So
yeah, well, you see these starts all the time in Mumbai. There's no lack of activity. You just need somebody to carry this all the way through. So this is nothing new that you're gonna get a good coach in and scout somebody and send them to Europe to train. All this is like, these are hit and miss things. So you just have to trust that whichever kid you're sending, impresses people over there and gets a 3-year training period in and comes back as somebody.
Yeah, absolutely.
And since we have just started this, we've seen this happening over the last 5-6 years. There is no other time when we're going to see like golden boys emerging out of these initiatives, because all of this takes time, and 90% of these attempts will be failures. You just get a few names, like maybe 5 names that will come out of this within 10 years. Everybody's trying to beat each other to be that one guy who makes this one guy rise to the top. So this is another in that series. I think what these clubs or these organizations should do is form a direct, continuous relationship with some particular club. That you send us coaches, we'll send you players. You help us with the scouting. We'll also help you with finding talent or whatever it is. That kind of a relationship has to be established, and not at a high level. Like not somewhere that every little thing that you do, like a 10-minute practice session with kids, that it has to go, all the videos and all the Instagrams have to make you the maximum publicity effort out of it. It has to be quiet. It has to be, relatively peaceful so that the players can be in their elements. And it has to be earnest, not like the photo op grassroots camps that we see from certain so-called clubs. So it has to be like that. It has to be consistent, and it has to just have that faith that somewhere down the line they will unearth some diamond out of that rough. So it's a lot of faith and passion that has to come through here.
Yeah, also just to touch upon this, the listeners, we'll get you more updates on this. We are planning a conversation on Mr. Kaushik as well, and probably down the days or the weeks coming, we can also have a chat with Godfrey Pereira, who's come. He himself has come down in this coaching career after having a great year for playing for India. So all of that in the coming days, and we will definitely give you updates for all the football fans in Mumbai about this club. And now it's time to move on to the cracker match that we had last night. Once again, it's my bad, I missed it out. But hey, can I watch the highlights anywhere, Kevin?
No. Highlights are not available. Only game you can watch is on TV at that particular moment. Even the highlights at the end of the show, I think, at the end of the game.
So their whole idea is to seeing that you watch it here, you watch it now. That's it. Once in a lifetime opportunity. Let's talk about the game. So I have both the boys here, Chiranjeet and Kevin, who will be talking about this game. First, I start with Chiranjeet. Chiranjeet, East Bengal versus Aizawl FC. 2-2 draw. Wow.
Yeah, well, I was in Aizawl, and when one of my friends reached out and said, there's going to be a screening come and watch with us. I know it's going to be fun. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna be live tweeting and writing report. I'll just watch it in my hotel room. I'm so regretting this because the second half must have been mental. The first half, I could always see like East Bengal were the better team, better with position, better with creating chances. Willis Plaza hit the post, which bad luck. East Bengal actually had a little bit of things gone their way, they would have been pretty much winning this game by a couple of goals at the very least. But second half, oh my goodness, what a game! Like I have not seen this kind of scrap since Shillong Lajong were playing Aizawl FC in the championship game last season, and they were like everybody was fighting for their lives basically out there to just for this massive outcome. It seemed like they were playing for a title. That's how intense it was. East Bengal obviously created the pressure early on. Got the first goal was pure awesomeness made in Mohan Bagan. You're welcome, East Bengal. Katsumi Yusa with the corner kick that got knocked in. Then second goal was a bit lucky for them. I don't think Katsumi Yusa even intended for that to go in. It just hit him and went in. And
Neither did Rafiq.
Neither did Rafiq, yeah. It was kind of a Robin Singh type goal, but Katsumi Yusa will probably be happy with it. It was okay for them. It seemed like they were comfortable on it. And of course, they started doing the tricks that I thought it was a Khalid Jamil trick, but it's also an East Bengal trick. So I think like the two are having an awesome time together. Falling down, feigning injuries. I think one player at one point, like he fell down and he was outside the sidelines. So he just rolled back into the pitch and he was pretending he was in pain. So all of that stuff was going on. But what a comeback by Aizawl FC. What a comeback. I'm gonna let Kevin describe this part.
Go ahead.
The moment you watch this game in the first half and the second half, you see contrasting differences. Firstly, you're not watching the end of the season. It's the start. It's the first game. And it's just so marvelous to watch the quality of football. Because it was like for like. Both teams had equal strength. It was who is going to cancel which team. That close a game it was. And the first half, I felt Willis Plaza was a bit selfish at times. Yes, he did hit the post on the second attempt, but when he did get his chances early on, I think he should have been better if he had been passing the ball. But coming back to Aizawl FC, Alfred Jarian, that one moment I can't forget. It's just replaying in my mind in the defense. You've got yourself under pressure. He gets the ball. He's crowded by defenders, by strikers, and he takes one touch. He lifts the ball in the air and then he clears it. What calmness! That is calmness personified for him. That I can just recollect that moment. What pressure handling that is, and I'm so glad he stayed with the team. He just lets it, gets the entire team together. And the second half, just to come back. I'm sorry, first half. East Bengal were playing a game which was playing like Minerva last season. Long balls from the back line to the forward line, bypassing the midfield completely. Katsumi Yusa in the first half was made less use of. We didn't know what's happening with that because Khalid Jamil doesn't usually do that. But Aizawl FC using their wings. Oh my God, that right wing of Aizawl was just creating too many problems. And David was there. David was the danger man for Aizawl. In the second half, it all changes completely. The tempo of the game I think it went up 3 times. Both teams were not ready to give up. And just compare that with ISL. The second half always is slow. Here in the I-League, it was just too fast. It was at the ball is at one end at this moment, and the other end you have a counter. And Willis Plaza, I think that goal that he did get in was one of the best goals. And look at Aizawl's comeback. After being 2-0 down, what do you expect from the champions of India? Just stay there and let it go because it's an away game? No. They just wait there for a chance and they keep knocking at the door again and again, and that goal comes in. beautiful, and nothing sweeter than a 90-minute goal.
Of course. I mean, crazy.
One of the things that is very noticeable about this Aizawl side is that actually two things. One, they have retained that poaching spirit. It's not like Aizawl FC were the best team last season.
Yeah.
They won the league because they went into the mud with other teams in very even-keeled or even in games where they were at a disadvantage, and they just used those one or two opportunities and just sneaked those goals and won some incredible points in from matches where they were definitely not likely to win. It's that attitude that we're gonna hunt. It's like that. The deer can run away from the wolf on 10 occasions, but the wolf just needs one opportunity to nab that deer for good. That's the kind of attitude this Aizawl FC team has. They hunt in packs like wolves as well. So that thing was evident, and once again yesterday when they just hung in debt in 97th minute, and it is Bengal's fault, by the way, that it went on that long, because they were even wasting time in added time. So the referee had no choice but to keep playing.
Yeah.
So even the very last chance of the game, they kept their cool and they got that goal back. Huge props. This will boost their confidence so much. Like they had a very scrappy, marvelous game against Mizoram Police in the first leg of the Mizoram Premier League semi-final, I think. 2-2 draw. Same thing happened here. The spirit is carrying over. The spirit of just fighting for that 1 point that makes all the difference in the world is still there. So that's great news for Aizawl FC. And the second point is, they lost their wing. They lost their wing when Jayesh Rane left. Ashutosh Mehta, who was using the right wing for overlapping so often, he also left. They just don't seem like they have lost any quality over there. So they have made up for all those players that they lost. They lost the coach, they lost their main players. They still managed to make up for it. And that says some more about the Mizoram football scene than about that club, that they managed to get all the quality, recoup it from the local scene immediately. And I think even though they did not intend it, the increased number of foreigners helped them in the end. Although the foreigners were not at the full forefront for Aizawl FC last night.
Yeah, just a couple of things that come to my mind. First is Avilash Paul. His performance.
Yeah.
Albino Gomes was not missed yesterday because this guy is there. That chance for Willis Plaza where he got that header, such a narrow angle, that was going in 100%. Marvelous save from them. And again, coming to the point what Chiranjeev was making, they've lost so many things from last season. A new coach. Just see the sidelines. The intensity can be made out by just looking at the coach's face. First half, he was all calm and composed. Second half, ref, he's just totally mad at the ref, and that just shows that intensity in the first game. You don't want to lose that first game itself.
Yeah.
It may be an 18-month, it may be a 5-month long season, but their first game is all important against one of the title challengers. And this is the best result I think both teams could have got.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, by the way, about Avilash Paul, he's 21 years old. This was his first ever top division game. The last time he was on the bench was, I think, on 23rd March 2015, Royal Windhoek versus Pune FC. Since then, he has not gotten a chance to play in the top flight. He played in the second division for a while. But this was his first I-League game.
Yeah, absolutely.
And what a performance.
Yeah, exactly. A great game to kickstart both the teams' campaign, especially for Aizawl, who will take this as a winner for them away from home playing against Bengal. Now it's time to slip in a short break. On the other side, we have two matches.
Before you go, couple of points about the match. The stadium looked empty because obviously you must have known that only 20,000 tickets could be printed because the stadium clearance came late, and out of those tickets, 16,111 I think was the official figure that was sold, and there were another 2,500 or so members who came in who did not need a ticket. So about close to 19,000 people were there, which is actually more than the actual attendance of 80K. So take that as you will. And there were reports of some exchanges between Aizawl FC fans and East Bengal fans. I don't think there was any racial slur over there, but usually you just there's the away fan section, so somebody in a heated match like this goes out there and just says some f words or shows them a finger or two. That happens. Apparently, both sides were exchanging this, and guess what happened after that? East Bengal Real Power, I think, is the fan club's name. The members of that fan club from East Bengal came to the 250 odd Red Army people, like the Mizo fans who were there. They were escorted out by the East Bengal Real Power fan club members and the police, and they were taken away from the stadium safely. They made sure that nothing untoward could happen, and that's the point I was making about the incident in Chennai. Had there been a real fan culture in Chennai,
Right.
that one idiot would have been stopped by another fan. Because this is what happens: somebody crosses a line, and his friends come, and his fellow fans come and shut him down. That's what happened last night, and this is what needs to happen everywhere.
Now it's time to slip into a short break, and on the other side we have two matches. One is I-League and one is ISL to be previewed, both happening tonight. And well, let's come back and here's a break.
Over 47% of online users in India have experienced harassment at some point. So if it's two of us inside this recording studio, chances are pretty high that one of us has faced abuse at some point. How do we tackle this? What do we need to do better? Come, let's learn together. Join me on Akanksha Against Harassment at IVM Podcasts every Thursday. Let's learn how to make online a safe place together.
Welcome back, guys, and here we have two matches, one I-League and one is ISL, and the first match is of I-League. It was at 5:30 p.m. and we'll see Indian Arrows playing for the very first time. It's a culmination of under 17 and under 18 players. So we also have a squad members from the World Cup team that played in the under 17 World Cup. Now, coached by Matos.
Fun fact: in Spanish, arrows means rice, chawal. Nothing. It's unrelated fun fact. Yeah.
Moving on, so we have here Matos once again being the coach for this team, and Chennai City, had a decent season in the opening I-League for them last season. Now, how do these play? They are playing in Goa because though Indian Arrows are supposed to be playing from Delhi, they are not. They are playing as of now in Goa. So let's see.
They are playing in Bombolim, Goa. Not Fatoda, by the way. Bombolim is a different stadium. They had national games over there, I think, and some other games also, some Lufthansa games, something as they call it, which was about Goa and Portugal and all, something which I don't remember properly. So it's a nice stadium, smaller stadium, should have some crowd over there. By the way, Bombolim has a lot of rice fields. And arrows in Spanish is rice.
Okay. Great connection, Ranjit.
So, coming to you for the match, how do you look this team shaping up, and how do you think the match will go ahead?
We shouldn't be looking at the results of any of Arrow's game, at least for the first 2 or 3 games, because this is going to be a tough challenge for them. I think it's more like two different teams are being placed together and trying to see if they can combine well. The idea is there to have them get shape before they enter competitive championship. So it's a great way to get them inducted into that feeling of the tournament mode. Chennai City have got some pre-season in India. They played some ISL teams. So their preparation looks kind of okay. They've got some players who've gone abroad with the tie-up that they have with Hercules. So maybe that benefits them to some extent. The first game is kind of be a scrappy game. That's what I feel, because even last season Chennai City did not get off to the best of starts. But
They were a first half team, right? According to you.
yes,
I
yes.
still
But
remember.
it's a different setup altogether now. They've got an experience how to be there in the National League, and a league is always different than a knockout format. So Federation Cup, after getting there, they didn't give the best of performances, but I think they've learned a lot from that experience. So I don't see too many goals here, but a lot of scrappy moments.
Okay, Charanjit?
Yeah, so just look at this, the side that they've got going here. They got Aniket Jadhav, obviously. Rahim Ali is there. Lal Zindika, not Lal Zindika, Ralke. It's the new, younger Lal Zindika at the front. You got Praveen, I think Vijit Sarkar, Wangjam over there in the midfield. Pretty good. Anwar Ali in the defense. Singh is there. Thangjam, another Thangjam. I think he's the other Thangjam. His full name is Boris Singh Thangjam. So we got a pretty good mix of the under 18 and the under 17 World Cup squad over there. What they have common is that none of them have ever played a match in the top division before. Ever. I think even the first Indian Arrows that they had put together, they had like one or two players who had played in, I think, second division before, or even played one or two I leagues when they were sitting in the bench at some other club, just promoted from the academy. So I think this is the first time in history that a team, since the very first season of the National Football League, this is the first time it's happening that a team is playing in a top division match without any of its players ever playing the top division. Okay, it's just complete new. Everybody is in this thing together, and it should be wonderful to see how they develop. It should be wonderful how they learn to be together in this new team and develop as a squad, as a unit. There's going to be some competition. I think I mentioned this before. This could foreshadow their game, is that the players will be competing individually with each other because the whole point is to make it to a good ISL contract or the under 19 World Cup qualifier squad or under 20, basically, whatever it is. So all of those will be going on, but I think with time they will rise above all that and play as a team. They will at one point, like, maybe lose today, maybe lose in the next few games. Then somewhere they will be like, we hate losing. We just want to win this one. Forget everything else. That's when you will see the water being vaporized away and the actual milk begins to harden or tighten. I don't know what the term they use, but that malai wala doodh that you get in Bihari shops, which would serve you it right out of the karai with a huge amount of cream on top. That's what I'm hoping will emerge out of this team at the end of the season.
Yeah, we'll add some rice also to that. It makes the recipe complete.
Yes, some rice and to put some rice and milk together, have a kheer. And I'm not making any sense. In this
Suddenly the listener must be wondering if they switched on.
Show?
And now I'm thinking about payesh and luchi, which is very bad because I'm in Aizawl. I can't have it here.
Well, now, are you also on the same lines of what Kevin said, that no goals to be seen in this match?
We're going to see goals. We're going to see goals from the other team. This is as good a start of the season that Chennai City could have asked for. They're reinventing the squad. I think they're looking okay. They should get a few goals in here so that some people in Coimbatore start taking notice. They're also playing Gokulam away from home on Monday, which is another opportunity for them to attract some attention. So they should use this as a means to welcome these newbies. When they were the newbies last season, everybody welcomed them with a lot of goals against them. So they should do the same to these other two teams.
Yeah. Well, on that note, I think we'll leave it at that for this match. We'll have to wait and see how it all pans out. It's a 5:30 p.m. kickoff. But on the other side, Aizawl is having a Maharashtra Derby, is what they call it. FC Pune City play Mumbai City. Now, both these teams coming off with a win, their last encounter, though both are on the same page because the first match that they played, they lost. Pune lost to Delhi and Mumbai lost to Bengaluru. But the second match that they played, they won respectively. Pune with a great 4-1 win against ATK and Mumbai City 2-0 win against FC Goa, 2-1 win against FC Goa, which also had a Katimini moment. I can't help but to say that because I have to say that because I feel sorry for FC Goa. That's the only time they concede. That's one way to concede. Let's talk about FC Pune City and Mumbai City. Kevin, what do you think?
Equal teams, but not really tested so far. This game is going to be planned.
Just one question. Can Mumbai City's defense come up again and be firm? Just like Goyan said that in the coming matches he assures that his defense will be firm against a threatening side of Marcelino and Alfaro, of which we saw a glimpse in the last match.
See, it doesn't work out every time. If you're going to play on counter attacks, it's going to be for one game or a few instances. You can't play the same tactic with every team that comes along your way. So Marcelino, Alfaro are good with their speed, but it's easy to pick players who are standing at the half line, and the keeper, you don't keep a very high defensive line. You have them like Goyan did last time. I think he was the player who was playing behind the back line. So they can just easily cut them off. It's not going to be working against all teams. So obviously, Ranko Popovic is going to be using some other tactics. But again, there are injury concerns for both teams. Keane Lewis is not able to start for the entire game. He again for Mumbai City, Leo Costa is out. So these makes the coach's plan difficult right at the start of the season. So they might just go in for trying to get a goal and then trying to put all the effort behind defending that. This game is not with two strong teams. It's about finding each other's weaknesses, one or two mistakes here and there. We might just see something
and sneak in one goal.
Yes. So I don't have really too many hopes. The thing is, I've watched too much I-League.
Chiranjeev, your take on the match.
Yeah, well, it's a so-called derby, right?
Yeah, it is.
So it's happening in Pune. So, like, even if you are gonna say like, yes, you're from the same state and all that, so let's call it a derby. Okay, call it a derby, but I don't think in Pune you're gonna have a derby feeling. I will give Pune the upper hand here because they just off a very good win against ATK, which I think is because the ATK defense kind of surrendered. Even the midfield was all over the place. But Mumbai is a win. I don't think they deserved it. And I think they just need to do more to show that they really are going to, fight for something here. Because Lord Katimani was at work on that night. So they still need to prove themselves, and maybe they will use this as an opportunity. Like, okay, look, you have somebody who just beat the defending champions 4-1. So look, you have somebody who just beat the defending champions 4-1 at their own house. So let's try and use this game as a platform to launch an all-out attack from the very get-go and try to get a goal early on and put pressure on them and show that we can really overpower another team.
Chiranjeev, I would just like to ask you one thing. We've not seen Mumbai City neither good at their defense and neither good at their offense. Now, what is missing for them? Do you think it's the midfield part that's not connecting, or is just the team that's it's been too hopeful from them last season and we've carried forward those hopes?
Yeah, part of that is that. Part of it is complacency. I'm totally not buying the way that their coach is trying to put on a brave face when they have not really done anything to deserve any big kind of accolades. So I think Gerson, Santos are not yet clicking the way we expect Brazilians to produce the kind of synergy on the field. Even Raju Gaikwad needs to maybe not be played today. Mundam Para is probably better. It seems like they had a very sloppy preseason. That's what it seems like. They need to find their balance right. Maybe get Rafa Jorda in there or something. I just don't know what to say about this team at this moment. It's just not. Just compare that to the last season. It's nothing. So maybe part of the blame even goes to Sanju Pradhan and Avinash Ruidas, who were included with the hope that they will bring their A game. I think Sanju Pradhan is kind of going past his prime, and Ruidas needs some time to get used to this new setup. So all of that, hopefully it works out for them. And Balwant Singh, I did not want to come to this, but Kevin, you made me go there. But so the entire blame is on you. Is he being called out here? Is he being? Is it coming out that scoring 2 goals against Macau? Can the Macau national team win the second division league in India? That's the question I'm gonna ask. Like, have we really seen him perform against some real proper top class teams in recent times? He did awesome in I-League. That was a very different kind of form that he showed there. But when he's coming here, that was how many months ago? That ended in April. So we've had May, June, July, August, September, October, like 5-6 months in between. So it's. I think he may still. He may once again be at a position where he is just out of it. He needs to find his touch once again. There was a long season break which hurt him, which does hurt a player like him because he was in the middle of a recovery. So he needs to step up, and I think the coaching staff need to make it clear to him that he's not doing enough. He's not doing the job that they were expecting him to do, and he has to step up.
What do you think? Is Pune City going to take it easily?
I don't know if it's easy or difficult, but looking at Mumbai City's performance so far, and we can say it's too early to judge just 1-2 games, but how long will we keep saying that? What were you thinking of? You knew it was a long season. You can't just say that because it's a long season, we have a long way to go. Because when you are losing, there are other teams who are winning and they are taking up the spot. So goals are going to get you wins. That's the same reason I have problem with Kerala Blasters as well. When you're looking at a team, and just like I think Nikhil tweeted this, one of our colleagues said that you're watching an I-League game with no expectations and with no pressure, so you'll enjoy it. When you have somebody like a Berbatov or somebody like a Balwant Singh in your squad, your expectations are too high because they've shown you what they can do. Same goes with Sunil Chhetri, same goes with them. Some perform, some don't. And when they don't perform is when you start raising questions. What is happening? Is he, one, he's crossed his prime. Second, is he being used well? Third, give him just 10 minutes. Just get him in towards the end where he can crack the pressure. Talking about coming back to Mumbai City and Pune City definitely look like a higher edge, just like Ranjit said, giving them a higher edge because they've come with a big win for 4-1 against ATK, and they finally showed. I think they rectified. Even against Delhi, it was 3-2, right? Which ended off second towards the end. Pune City got those 2 goals. So all of that coming up here, Mumbai City looks a bit shaky. It's time that they need to get back and regroup themselves and say, hey, this is wrong. Let's start from the scratch. It's okay to start from the scratch at the moment. I think Guimares knows how to get things done, so I think he will get there, but it should be soon because we are expecting a good game. Here, I would say, to answer in one sentence, yes, Pune City does look like the favourite here to take the game. Now,
here, let me make a something that will probably get me some hate in the comment section.
Is it again about rice?
No, it's not about rice. It's about meat. It's about having meat in the preseason. Okay, it's like all these big ads that we see like on social media. This ISL team is going to Spain. This ISL team is going to Switzerland. This ISL team is going to that other place that you want to go on honeymoon at, to have their preseason. Screw that. you see how outclassed they are to how poor they look compared to clubs that have actually played a competition in the lead up to the league season. East Bengal played in CFL. Aizawl FC played in Mizoram Premier League, Mizoram Super Cup, Independence Day Football Tournament. Mohan Bagan played in this thing. I don't think they are looking their best yet because they don't have a very good team. But they look much more composed than some of these ISL teams because they played in CFL. They played in that Sikkim Governors Gold Cup, and everybody, even Shillong Nilajong, is coming off a Shillong Premier League tournament in a local league. When you are in a competitive tournament and you're playing towards a goal, that's what puts you in the competitive mode that you require to be in a league. It makes you play towards a goal. When you're just playing friendlies, you're trying, okay, we'll try X in this match, we'll try Y in that match. There is no progression.
Yep.
You're not feeling like you're in a campaign, and you don't get into the campaign mode. So when you are facing the campaign, you're still coming off that friendly mode. It's just not the same thing. I don't care if you're playing friendlies in Brazil or wherever. You have to have. That's why some people, even EPL are doing like summer cup competitions. Like they just some EPL teams went and played a tournament in Australia, or Arsenal sometimes play Emirates Cup because it makes a difference. So nobody was stopping these ISL teams from playing in these tournaments. Like if 2 or 3 ISL teams showed interest, they would hold Durand in September, and everybody would get that kind of experience going forward. So they should learn from this, and they should play in these cup tournaments that happen all around the country. Maybe it won't be the ISL squad, but it will have enough ISL squad players, that are being tested in those tournaments, and it's going to make a world of a difference
Fair
when
points.
you actually go into this.
Competitive matches do demand all of this pressure and will let you know how good you are before you start the long season. Now, are you giving Kevin any goals for this match?
There will be goals again. Not very exciting.
Who takes again?
Mumbai City maybe 1-0 or I can't really judge.
Chiranjit, Pune City, are you giving win or Mumbai City?
No, I'm gonna go for a Pune City win. I want to see a good goal from Alfaro, simply because that's something I've been thinking since last season. Ki नहीं मिला यार ये मिलना था, नहीं मिला. It's like it's like that. Sometimes that extra chutney you get with vada pav, and on one day you go to the same shop and they say like, we're out of that chutney, so we'll just give you some sauce. And when you're eating the vada pav, it's the same vada pav, but you're thinking, "Arey yaar, wo chutney milna tha." That's what it was last season. So I'm hoping this season or in this game we get the chutney.
Well, this episode has totally been.
I'm hungry.
Yeah,
I'm
we
hungry.
all are. I'm sure.
I'm talking about
I'm sure listeners.
food so much today.
I'm sure our listeners are also. You made them also hungry, and this show has been a great culmination of food and football, both starting the same letter, and also till OO, you're almost the same. But yeah, if you're an Indian football fan, I think you'll like this, and if you're a foodie, you'll even more like it. And if you did,
I know why we're talking about food. Because you started the show with Jafar Bhai.
Yeah, exactly.
Jafar Bhai ki biryani.
And then moving on now, if you did like this show because of whatever reasons, whether it's football or food, please show us that. Like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon so the updates of our new episodes, which we shall be trying to keep it only on football. But hey, a little food doesn't bother anyone, I think. Now let us know your thoughts about all the things that we spoke about, including the food, in our comment section below on our YouTube channel, and you can also talk to us directly on Twitter, especially if you want to talk about food. Chiranjit is a guy. He's on Twitter as Chiranjit Oja. Kevin is on Twitter as Boza_Kevin, and I am on Twitter as Matthew94. Follow the TFG Football for all the updates on Indian football, and get onto the website, the Fan Garage, to read about all these stories, and also video live updates. So you have to follow the TFG football to let yourself keep updated about what's happening. That's all, guys. Enjoy the matches and come back to us tomorrow because of the daily show. Have a great day. Cheers.
That was Tantrik Steve from Hansraj College, Delhi, performing at IIT Bombay's Mood Indigo. Just like them, there's a lot of new talent and art coming out of colleges all across India, but unfortunately most of this goes completely unnoticed or ignored. To fix this, we started atkt.in. Hi, I'm Ankur, I'm a musician and a rapper, and I found that one of the best things about being an artist myself is finding new talent. Through atkt.in, Tanya, my colleague who's a dancer, and our whole team really is putting all of our efforts into discovering and promoting all the coolest talent that's coming out of colleges all across India. And this goes up on our website, our social media, TV, radio, and now, of course, this podcast with IVM. Make sure you go to our website, support the talent with your likes, your shares, your comments. All of that really matters. Go ahead, check it out. atkt.in.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is your captain speaking. Sorry to say, but there's been a slight delay due to the apocalypse having suddenly begun. As you can see, there's death, destruction, and chaos taking place all around us. But don't you worry, food and drinks will be served shortly, and I would recommend checking out
IVM Podcasts
to get some of your favorite Indian podcasts. We'll keep you going till this whole thing blows over. Thank you.